Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Crosscheck and I'm very happy to be here today for another draft related video. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the 41 pick overall and who the Montreal Canadiens gonna select. And I think they have a lot of possibilities, so I choose 6 players that I think make a lot of sense. 2 very likely to still be there for 41. 2 others that I think have a 50-50 chance, and 2 that are less likely but can still be there. The first group of players are 2 players that I think have very high chance to still be there at 41, but also could maybe be there at 49. So maybe Montreal should wait for drafting them at 41, but I think they are still good players that could be good pick for Montreal at 41. The first player will be Daniil Prokhorov. Have been pretty solid in the MHL this season. The 6'6", 220 pounds right winger have decent number. Nothing crazy, but a 20 goal are pretty solid. I will say his playmaking is lackluster or even some game inexistent, but the physicality, how he just charged the net, how he just want to score a goal is pretty amazing for me. Also, I very like his agility for a big man like him, but you really need to work on his playmaking and the defensive side of the game if you want to become an NHLer one day. The second player in this range is Aiden Popaneus, and I've made a video about him already. Right now, playing for the Kelowna Rockets in the WHL, and this guy, I really like him. He's a 6'5", 203 pounds. Winger / center. Have played both position. I prefer him at the wing, but can play center. Have been pretty solid this season with 24 points in 39 games with the Spokane and 19 points in 32 games with the Rockets. And I really like his physicality when he play at the wings. I think at the center position he lose a little bit of that, but at the wing, he's very physical. Have a good scoring touch. Also, I really like how he can create offensively for his teammate. This is a guy with a lot of good tool, but I prefer him at the wing. But I think at 41, he could be a good pick, and at 49, an excellent one. So the second part are the 50-50 chance to be there. And for me, those players are maybe the more realistic pick for the Montreal Canadiens because I think have a little bit more upside or more certitude in their game. The first player on my list is Jakob Romach. He's gonna play with the University of Minnesota in the NCAA next year, but a 6'6" lefty defenseman is a monster right now. He weighed already 210 pounds. He's a massive defenseman. It's very difficult to play against. Yeah, offensively, he's a little bit limited, only 18.3 goal, and he will never be a first pairing or second pairing defenseman in the NHL or an offensive one. But I think defensively, for third pairing, for your D play and anything like that, I think it's very easy to project. I really like his physicality, how he can clear the net is amazing. I think in the playoff, this guy gonna be a nightmare to play every night against him. This is the type of guy I really want in my prospect pool, and I think could be very fun. So that guy I really like, Jakob Ihs-Wozniak, and this guy was kind of everywhere on my list at the start of the season, was number 9, and right now he's in the second round. He's a right winger, 6'2", 190 pounds, and he's a guy that I like a lot. This season finished the season with 57 points in 40 games, 2 points in 13 games in this SHL. He had kind of a season in 2-3 time. He had a very good and Gastrien Cup with 4 goals in 5 games. A difficult start, but after that kind of bounced back. So for his strength, he have a wicked shot. This guy on the power play can be a 20-25 goal a year guy. If you let him open, he can score very easily on the power play. If you have time, his shot is very good. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of his transition game. I don't think he's very good to enter the zone with the puck, so I will let another guy do that. But again, for his strength, the shooting, I think he's not a bad skater, but also I think he's a very good defensive player right now. This is a guy who can be a very good and dangerous player on the power play, but also pretty good on the D play. So that make him probably a very solid future third line player who can score 20 goals, but also being very useful in the defensive zone. So I think that's a very good type of player to have in your prospect pool. Yeah, you need to work on his transition game and the playmaking, but he's still a very solid player. Those two next players have very low chance to be there at 41. So forget them for 49. But I think at 41, the chances are very slim, but still possible. So that's why they are at this section of this video. The first player in this list is Alexander Zharovsky. I played for Tulpar Ufa in the MHL, and he have been very solid this year. This is a guy I've seen in the top 20 and almost outside the second round. Like I've seen him at 17, 18, and also at 64, 63. So this is a guy kind of everywhere. You have a good size. You need to put more muscle on it, but you have great height. It's a 50 point in 45 game this year. But what I like about him is the creativity and raw skill. This is a guy with a lot of skill, very good creativity, can slice a defense by himself, and could be a top 6 player in the NHL. It's a risky pick. It's not a sure value or something like that. But I really think at 41, this is maybe the player with the highest ceiling available in this draft. This is like the guy at 41 that I really think that if he's still there, it could be the highest possible ceiling. He's a more risky pick, but I really love the upside, and I really love the set of skill that he have to be a future NHLer. The last player of my list, my hot take from my top 32, Mr. Top 15, Milton Gastrien. And yes, I have Mr. Gastrien at number 15 in my top 32. Milton Gastrien is a 6'1", 185-pound lefty center who have played most of the season in the G20, but I really like his number in the U18 when he have made 10 points in only 7 games, but a 42 point in 40 games are not too shabby either. Also 10 point in 5 games in the Hlinka Gretzky Cup is also very good. In most lists, Milton Gastrien go between 25 to 45, so the chance to get him to Montreal is pretty slim, but they are still there. And for me, is the more logical pick, because Milton Gastrien have the upside to become a middle 6 center in the NHL, or at worst a 4th line center. So I really love the upside because he's very good in all 3 zones. He play a very physical game. He's very gritty. He's not a bad playmaker. He's not a bad goal scorer. Nothing special, but he's kind of good at everything. Plus, he's a very, very physical guy. And I really like that. He kind of plays a game that is very similar to Brady Martin that a lot of people have in their top 10. So for me, Milton Gastrien could be a very nice pick at 41. So that was my video about who the Montreal Canadiens should take at 41. If you want more draft related video, you can like and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time.